The Sea of Grass is a film that I discovered because of my love of Katharine Hepburn. I don't have that many Katharine Hepburn films left to watch, and I have to say it's very long. It's not a bad narrative. The characters are very interesting. I'll talk more about them in a moment. But it is a very long film and it's a little bit too slow for my liking. This was released in 1947. It's directed by Elia Kazan, and stars, of course, Katharine Hepburn as our protagonist Lutie and Spencer Tracy as her husband, Colonel James. And it actually starts off with her going to meet her husband, well, her fiance, and they get married. And then she struggles to adapt to his life. She has very different views to him. And it's mostly about her struggling to come to terms with this and making some pretty big decisions. And it's not easy for her, especially when they have children. But she's looking at this man who is not exactly a good man, to put it simply. And it's all about her trying to deal with this and work out what the right thing to do is. And that doesn't sound very interesting. And to be honest, that's about it. It isn't the most interesting narrative. If it was condensed, if it was quicker, we got rid of the padding, it would flow a little bit better and it would be a little bit more engaging and a bit more entertaining. And there are some good scenes in it, and the characters are well written. I think Lutie is a very likable character. It's very easy to follow her narrative, and Spencer Tracy plays a very complex character, actually. I think he's a very interesting, very well written character. We also have Melvyn Douglas as Brice Chamberlain, who basically is everything, or he could be everything to Lutie that her husband isn't. And I don't want to say too much about that relationship, but his character as well I thought was very well written. The passage of time in this is good in the sense that we do get a lot of time covered. I won't say exactly how much time, but at the same time, it didn't need to be this long to span that many years. They could have done it much shorter without losing that passage of time. So it definitely needed to be tidied up a little bit to be engaging all of the way through. But there were scenes every now and then that were really good, that made it worth sitting through. And the performances are brilliant. The characters, as I said, are all very well written. So it's not a bad film, but it's longer than it needs to be. And that means that it's very slow, and there are times when it's quite boring. But when it's good, it is really entertaining. So I would recommend it, but be prepared to sit through some fluff. And I'd say it's worth it, but that being said, I probably wouldn't watch this film again. Once was enough, but I don't mind the time I spent watching it. As a Katharine Hepburn fan, I certainly enjoyed her performance, and I love seeing her perform alongside Spencer Tracy anyway. So that part of it was great. There are enough positives that make the unnecessarily long length bearable. And if it sounds like your kind of film and you have 2 hours, then I'd say The Sea of Grass might be worth checking out, but certainly for me, once was enough.